friend Erin Cell with Socially Powered, and you probably know that because you were following her Periscope channel.
Yeah, probably should know that.
And I am Hollie Clere with the Social Media Advisor.
So Hollie, tell me a little bit about yourself. What is it you do?
I like long walks on the beach. So kidding. I do like
candlelit dinners.
Yeah, but you know the problem with long walks on the beach is sand shows up in
True.
Inappropriate places.
This is true. So yeah, so Hollie and I just finished a lovely lunch. We're sitting outside of beautiful Colorado, as you can see from
I
our
do
surroundings.
love Colorado.
I do too. And so we were just chatting. She just recently did some training regarding storytelling, and I thought, what better thing to do than to have her come on my Periscope channel and give you guys 3 tips about storytelling and social media.
Yes.
So what's tip number 1?
Tip number 1 is don't make your story boring. Everyone has an about section on their website, right? You gotta,
nobody likes boring.
Right. I was established in 1957. That is not a story. You're not talking about the pain points that you're solving. You're not talking about your ideal customer or your target market. And you're not talking about your niche. What makes you different than anyone else when you're telling an about section story. But realistically, all social media has a place for a good bio that could be keyword friendly and really rich with who you really like to work with. So tip number 1 is capture your pain points that you solve, your ideal client, and your niche in your story. Whether you're using video or putting it in Facebook, don't just leave a little section like this with the paragraph about short.
Do you happen to
sentences.
have a good example of how they can, because especially like on Twitter, you know, you
you
don't
only have so many characters.
Yeah. So do you have any, like, I guess, suggestions for how they can effectively convey that, you know, whatever that message that is that they're trying to convey in such a short, you know, little teeny tiny.
Yeah. Well, when you're working with so many characters, I mean, you look at Instagram. Can I reference a couple people that have done it really well?
Sure.
Susie B. Zimmerman is an Instagram expert. And if you look at her profile, and she teaches all sorts of really awesome things, but if you look at her profile, it's bullets of different things that she's about. It's not a long, drawn-out sentence about her walking on the beach and making sunsets.
And speaking of Instagram, use emojis. Emojis can help you easily tell a story without having to use the words. So
Yes.
you're only taking up one character. And I think, didn't Twitter, I thought I saw something like yesterday or today, that Twitter, now you can add emojis in your bio.
I heard that
I
too.
think you can.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. So, there
Okay,
you go.
so have you seen there's some company that does some advertising where they use emojis and you have to figure them out to enter these contests?
I haven't seen that, but I would like to.
Right. I think it's a brilliant idea. So what they did is they took a picture, an emoji of a dog,
Mm-hmm.
an emoji of silverware, and an emoji of a journal. And what story did it tell?
Dogs eat paper.
The dog ate the homework.
Oh, the dog ate the homework. Yeah.
Right. So you can easily tell your story through something like that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I like to use colors that I use in my brand. So that's tip number 1. I would say tip number 2 would be to incorporate some sort of emojis. But really, really look at what are those key points that you like? What colors are you wanting to use? What defines you and your brand? And if you really don't have a defined brand as far as your colors and your themes and your specialties, I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, you're not a Mary Kay person who works with anyone who has skin.
That's one of my favorite things that you say.
You're going to work with certain individuals, and not everyone's going to be a good fit. So keep that in mind. When you're sharing in your posts, you want those to also be part of your story and part of your theme. So tip number 2 would be to make everything branded, I think. Tip number 3.
And can I just
Yeah.
add a little bit on that?
Please.
Because branding is something that I really like. I tend, well, I
You're
don't
great
have
at
it
branding.
right now, but I tend to brand myself.
Your fingernails.
So
And-
my nails are one of my company colors. My toenails are my company colors. I tend to wear a lot of my company colors, especially if I'm attending an event
Yes.
that I'm representing, my company, which really anything and everything that I do, I'm always representing my company because I'm the face of it. But I do it in other ways as well, because like my posts, obviously like a lot of my posts have a picture of me with my logo, but it's also about bringing out your personality.
Yes.
And letting people kind of in on you and who you are. I really, like, for me, anybody that knows me knows that I really like to go to live music. I went to 4 shows in less than
A
like
week.
5 days, I think, or 6 days last week. And I know as of right now, I think I have 7 shows on the schedule for September. So that's a lot of music. Other thing, but so you want to incorporate your branding and your personality into your business.
Yes.
So bringing the two together to tell the whole story.
It is. It's a
Yeah.
whole story. Because people do business with people that they like, know, and trust, right?
Yep.
They're not going to do business with just a brand. I drink Pepsi because I like the way it tastes.
Right.
And you know what? The person who introduced me to Pepsi was this really awesome guy at a restaurant probably many, many years ago. And every time I went there and I sat in his section, I wanted his Pepsi suggestion. Sure.
And I drink Pepsi because my mom drinks Pepsi.
Yeah. Well,
When I
okay,
saw
so
it.
do I work with Socially Powered because of the cute owl? Or
I
do
mean,
I
you
work
should.
Or do I work with Socially Powered because of this lady right here?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So bring your personality into your brand as far as all the communication you do inside and out. Tip number 3 as far as your story goes. If you're not actually sharing a story, then you're doing it wrong. So you need to have consistency in your status updates and in your website. So what do I mean by that? Well, 15 years ago, if you didn't have a website, you could probably get away with doing some business. Maybe possibly with just a business card. But people want to do their research ahead of time. So not only do you need to have a website, but you need to have social proof. And social proof is really your online presence proving that you're an established business. So if you don't have consistency in your social media, people aren't going to think that you're a credible business. It's a fact.
Yeah. So, in fact, it's funny. It's a little bit off subject, but it kind of isn't. So I have a client that is working with another company and they do SEO. So I don't specialize in SEO. I don't claim to specialize in SEO. So we were on the phone yesterday. Well, really, we were trying to cancel with them. The customer service is horrible. I'm not going to name names, but put it this way: if anybody ever asked me about this company, I would say run as fast as you possibly can away from them. But the point of it is, I started doing some research online. He already had this relationship with this company prior to meeting me, and so we're just trying to get it all sorted out. So I started doing some research online about this company. I wanted to see what their Google reviews, I wanted to see what their Yelp reviews were. I went and looked at their Facebook page, and they claim that they claim that they do like websites, SEO, social, all this stuff. Yet when I go look at their Facebook page, they have been posting like twice a month. That's it. 2 times a month. I'm like, and they have a ton of bad reviews online all over the place. So, that's just something that you need to think about. Like, if you are in business and you're putting yourself out there online, what are people saying about you? If you've got a ton of Facebook reviews and they're all bad, I think they were all 1 stars with the exception of maybe 1, and that was probably somebody that worked there.
And they probably have no idea.
Oh, I think they do. Because actually, when we were talking to them, they're like, well, we have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. But I think they must pay off the Better Business Bureau.
Could be.
Yeah.
But that's just that's social proof. It shows people, what does it say about this business? Are they trying to engage? Are they being consistent? Are they sharing content that's valuable? Do they have a bunch of 1-star reviews? You got to know what your online presence says about you.
Yep.
So those are the 3 tips, guys.
3 tips.
Enjoy.
What were they?
They were: make a meaty bio. 2, be consistent with your brand.
Yep.
And 3, be social.
Be social.
Develop your social proof.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Holly, for
Yeah.
being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
It was great seeing everybody. We'll see you later.